All right, so we have a few more steps to kind of finalize our project. We'll be getting into interior renderings, adding our ceilings, as well as just adding our light fixtures to help those renderings look a little bit pretty, or prettier. So first step, I forgot to kind of mention this. If your floors are still gray right here, I just want to add the exterior siding on top of it. So it's kind of the cheap way to do it, but I'm just going to show you it's a lot quicker than a different way. So up in my floor, once it's selected, I go to Edit Type. On the structure, click on Edit. So I'm just going to add a layer on the outside edge here. And I'm just going to add that exterior siding. So if we click siding, or type siding up here, double click, and then we need to add a thickness. So we're going to do 3/4 of an inch. Hit OK, hit OK, and now you'll see our siding wraps that floor. And so one little cleanup I would probably do, usually you wouldn't see the siding here, your chimney would continue all the way down if you have brick like me, so go ahead and just do that. Oops. Careful here, I adjusted one. We could even make it a little thinner if we need it. It looks like the brick's not really standing out on top of it. Or what we can do too, I'd probably do this. This is the best way to do it. Let's just edit this boundary real quick, and I'm just going to pull in my floor line. No, okay, and that looks better. Okay, so next step, let's just go ahead and look at, I went ahead and just blew up my ceiling plan so I could see all the levels here. So I'm just going to go to one of my elevations. This is going to be the same step on both floors, but I'm just going to show us how to do it on one. So my first floor, if you remember, is on level 4, and it's going up 8 feet. So I'm going to go to my level 4 in my ceiling plan, and I'm going to go ahead and go to Architecture, Ceiling, and I want this ceiling just to be a little bit lower. And what we kind of just did was added that siding, which is going to look a little ugly with our ceiling, but I'm just going to move this down an inch. Okay, and this is kind of perfect. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, but usually it does. I like to draw it a lot of times, but go ahead and just use this automatic ceiling tool. It'll show up in red here. Yeah, actually I don't like doing it. So let's just go ahead and sketch it, because sometimes it shows up really weird. So I'm going to use my line tool. And this is really just drawing your ceiling. And if you're in a room right now, go ahead and look up. This is really just drawing your drywall perimeter. And so I want this cut to be in my floor, just like, or in my ceiling, just like my floor. So I'm going to put a box around my floor. Hit OK. All right, and then I'm just going to delete a few of these. I got a little ahead, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to jump back to my level 4, and I'm going to use this little camera tool. So this one will be good if you're doing, if you're doing a picture of your, where'd my cabinets go? Oh, there it is. Is it level 3? That was level 4. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. I think I was still in my ceiling. So double click level 4. So I just kind of want to show you what this drywall looks like, or what our ceiling that we just drew looks like. So I'm going to go up to my camera tool. In this camera, I'm just going to snap a photo. This is a good interior view of maybe my kitchen too. So I'm just going to adjust some of these properties. So I can kind of see the whole thing. And then I'm just going to go down here too to adjust to visual style, realistic. Okay, so now it's pretty good. We've got our ceiling, and I just wanted to show you if we were to go ahead and render this as is. I'm going to go up to my render tool, or sorry, down to my render tool down here. So do draft, exterior. So I'm going to change this to interior, sun, and artificial. And we're going to hit render just to show you how this looks. Okay, so this is a decent view, but it's pretty dark on our inside. So luckily I have some pretty big windows right here, but this isn't great. So I want to go ahead and show you just how to add in can lights or some type of lighting fixtures, so it makes this rendering a little bit prettier. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this to my project just for practice. So I've got kitchen, render. I'm just going to put draft just to show you what the difference is going to look like. Alright, so exit out of here, and then I'm going to go to my ceiling plan again, level 4. So now I'm going to go to my system, and I'm going to click lighting fixtures. You probably should not have any, so I'm just going to show you. It's going to ask you to load family, which is okay. So if you don't have these anywhere, just use that link I sent you, and it's really important to extract the families. Extract all files to your desktop or somewhere you can locate it, or you can click and copy all of them and move them directly, but you just have to extract when it's that zip folder. Okay, so once you're in this folder, we're going to go down here to lighting, architectural, internal lighting, and I like using this downlight. Actually, this one's a little prettier. So this recessed can. So go ahead and double click that. So here it's showing up. So this is just telling it's 277 volts. And this will come in a few different options too, the sizes, as well as, so maybe an 8-inch can. Looking at mine, it's kind of overkill actually. So usually they're about 6 inches, which I think is plenty. So here you'll see it's asking my elevation. I'm just going to use the same elevation I put my ceiling at, which is 7'11". 7'11". And then here, yeah, you can get super detailed. You can move these later, but I'm just going to go ahead and add in some for my kitchen to show you for now. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, and with this this 3D view, the camera view that I made, it's a good idea to name these as well. So this is kitchen cam if you want. So, all right, so here's my kitchen. So here you can see actually these downlights now. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. So if we go back, let me get back here to my kitchen camera. So now that we've got our downlights in, we're going to go back to my render. And this time we're going to go to interior artificial only. And artificial just means your lighting that we've got here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as medium just to give us a little bit more. It's going to take a little bit more time, but I'm going to hit adjust to check out this. So I'm just going to pump this up. We're going to mess with this after we actually render, so it doesn't really matter where you're at now. Hit OK and click render. Alright, so you can see mine's pretty dark right here, but then we can go back to adjust exposure. I just think when you're doing an interior rendering too, it looks a lot better when you're just doing that interior artificial. So I've got a couple options here. I can adjust the brightness. I'm just going to adjust a little bit, hit apply, so this already looks better. Keep going here. Or I can add more lights, or I just want to show you a different view. So I'm going to hit OK here, and then I'm just going to save this one to my project again. So this is going to be kitchen cam. I'm just going to do this one too. So I'm just going to show you a few different pictures that we got saved. All right, so this looks good. Just want to show you one other option we have here. So if I go back to my kitchen camera, you can click on these lights and also adjust the lighting. So you can see right here the voltage is 120. I thought I did 240 for some reason, but that's okay. So I'm going to adjust it to 240. Hit OK. And now I'm going to go back to my render just to show you the difference. Same thing, medium. Go ahead and hit render. Alright, so this one already looks a little bit better by just turning up the lights. So same idea here, I can adjust the exposure a little bit brighter. And this looks pretty good for an interior rendering. So I'm just going to save this just to kind of show you kitchen cam. I'm going to do 3 here. Okay, and when I hit save to project here, you'll see right here, they're all saving in these interior views, or rendering views. So if I click on this, you can kind of just see, that one's actually not that brighter, but did I save one of them? Oh yeah, I saved this one. So this was kind of that ugly one without the lights. Then I got better and better as we went. So this is a great way to do it. So when you're doing your interior renderings, just make sure you've got interior artificial only, and you can go from there. So we're going to do the ceiling for our second floor, and then really I'm just going to let you go. So you don't need a ton of interior renderings. The next video will cover everything that I want to see. But if you want to add more, I usually give, and I'll break it out to you in a point structure where I'll give a certain amount of extra credit for X amount of renderings and whatnot. So some people just love putting them in at the end to show it off to their folks. Okay, so let's look. I'm going to go back to my section view real quick. So my level 6 to 7 is my next view, and this is again 8 feet tall. So I'm going to go ceiling plan, level 6. I'm going to go ahead and go to architectural ceiling. See if this automatic works. Click, click. Can never tell if it's working or not, but let's see. I don't think it did. But the other way to look at this too, for your ceiling, go back to your section views. Let's go this one. It's kind of hard to click on this ceiling, but here you can see I just clicked on it. Let's see if this one lets me. Oh, it did. Okay, so it looks like it worked for my other floor plan too. So the other way to do it too is I'm going to jump back to my level 6 floor plan, not ceiling plan. And I'm just going to take a picture here. So I'm going to take a picture of my bathroom, let's say. Alright, blow this up a little bit. So it does look like I have a ceiling, which is good. You can click on it. Okay, I've got it. I'm just going to adjust this to realistic. Okay, so this looks good. So I've got all my ceilings, and now again with my ceilings, I can jump back to my level 6 ceiling plan. Then really the only reason we're adding ceilings on here is so we can put those lights in just to give us a little bit better rendering. So I'm going to go back to systems. And don't stress out about where your lights are going to go. We're actually going to do, if we have time this quarter, I think we will, our lighting plans in AutoCAD. So don't worry about where you're putting these right now. So I'm going to do 6, put one above my bath, and then probably I'll have a sink or something over here. So I'm going to go back to my bathroom view. Okay, good. And same step here. So we can go ahead and hit render on the bottom. And then I'm going to adjust it to interior artificial only, just so that light is really showing on the inside. Go ahead and hit render, and then I can adjust the exposure once I left this as draft just so it's quicker. All right, so this one looks pretty good. Again, I can adjust this. Forgot to show you this too. You can dim lights too if you wanted. This is kind of getting more detail, but yeah, don't worry about this. One is fully on, but you can dim it down to, yeah. Way too advanced for this. But then we can do adjust exposure. I think that's just the easier way to do it. Hit apply, got it brighter, or if you want darker if you're adding. And this one actually may not look too bad. I don't like using, let's go ahead and try it, the interior sun and artificial typically on the bottom, just because you'll see kind of that ugly grass and whatnot. But let's go ahead and try this out, because again, on the second floor you're not seeing the grass or the trees out there, so I think it should look pretty good on the second floor using this. But let's go ahead and check it out. A little brighter, but not too bad. So yeah, but again, when you turn on that exterior, it's going to show that sun, so that's why I just like putting the interior artificial only. Okay, so just remember, please be saving these to your project, because the next video we'll cover is how to drag these over to certain sheets. And yep, that's it for this one. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon.